sport with no consequence. We're here at Fuelfest, and you're watching GotGent.com.
So we're here at Fuelfest, Lokeren, Belgium, with no consequence. Hi guys.
Alright.
Could you tell us who you are and what you do in the band?
Colin, drummer.
Khan, vocals. Dan, guitar.
Tom, bass.
Alright, guitar. In 2 days, you guys release your new album, IO. Is it IO?
IO,
IO. Via Basic Records. It's already available for streaming in full.
It is.
And a lot of bands seem to do that nowadays. So do you think it's important to catch people's interest this way?
Yeah, I think kind of it's important because obviously like music has become very throwaway down to the downloading culture and all that sort of thing. So for people to get a sneak peek at the album before they actually go out and buy it or download it or whatever they do, I think is a good thing. So yeah, the streaming before it's released is not a problem with us.
For those who haven't heard it yet, what can they expect from the album?
A lot of aggression, some melody.
Yeah, tempered with a lot of chilled out, more thoughtful parts.
Than the last.
Nice.
Way more than the last.
Yeah, dynamic.
More dynamic.
Yeah.
That actually leads us to the next question. We had a couple of listens ourselves,
Awesome.
and we noticed a distinct cynic influence in some
Yeah.
So, and that wasn't really present on the previous album.
Yeah.
Which is 2009.
Well, that kind of comes with these
Yeah.
two new members,
I see.
and kind of so it kind of there's a slight change of input and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
So
broadened.
Okay, so it's actually the new members that are contributing.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
kind of
I think, it's a
Yeah,
good
we
mix of
all-
kind of hardcore and the more like the brutality of side of it, but still sticking with the groove aspects and kind of taking certain aspects of Gent as well to try and gel it into the album. That was
Successful.
And so the debut album, In the Shadow of Gods, came out in 2009.
It did.
Which is 4 years ago.
It is.
So there's a long wait between
Yeah.
albums, like
Yeah.
at least for today's standards.
Yeah.
So is there a reason for that?
Yeah. Well, we essentially changed half of the band because it went. The whole thing with the transition from that album to this album was that it went from being like a weekend, like pub sort of band to then actually getting involved with Basic, realizing that we could take it to a more full-time and serious level. And then as that obviously came upon us, people's kind of commitment changed, and the hardest thing for us was to find members that would be able to like keep up and inspire us to kind of create more. And I think we've kind of done that, but it's taken a long time.
Yeah.
But on the other side, we have been sitting on the album for about 6 months because we've been waiting for Basic so we could fit in with their schedule basically. So it sucks, but we're here and we're kind of.
But you guys started working on it like at least 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I remember
easy.
there being
Yeah, a
big
few little
videos
demos
like
and
that.
stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So who writes the music in the band? How does the writing process work?
I guess, most of it.
Predominantly,
Predominantly. But then everyone contributes. I might come up with like the basic idea of something, and then we'll expand. Kind of puts his own drum ideas over things.
I think you kind of lay down the foundations of it, and then everyone else
Structures, so
kind of
yeah,
fill in
we
the gaps.
argue
Right.
our points and stuff. Yeah.
So where do you guys draw inspiration from in your
Guitar Pro.
No.
Inspiration
No,
from
no,
guitar.
no,
It's inspiration from.
Anything and everything you've ever listened to is your inspiration. Everything forms your musical kind of sensibilities, which you just
We try not
you
to.
end up writing stuff that sounds good to you, and it sounds good because of the things that you liked.
We try not to pigeonhole ourselves into quite such a tightly knit thing. Try to take influence from everything.
We don't go, we want to sound
Everything
like
we like.
Yeah.
we go, we like all of this different stuff, let's try it.
It's quite hard when you're writing as well if you almost show your influences too much, and sometimes it's kind of good to step back and get other people's kind of musical backgrounds and stuff. I think we've got a good gel of broad mix of everybody's kind of taste of where they've come from when they're kind of their metal experiences kind of thing.
We're from GotGent.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's kind of grown considerably over the past years.
Yeah.
Popularity.
Yeah.
So what is your guys' take on the style and scene revolving around it?
Well, the scene's awesome, really.
awesome.
Yeah. Especially over here in Europe, kind of they really kind of take care of you as a band, you know, as bands or whatever. But I think we're all wearing Euroblast wristbands and stuff, so I think stuff like that really just brings people together, and that kind of helps like develop like the friendships within the bands as well as like across into press and all that sort of stuff.
It's a real kind
and it
of
just kind of all works together.
Yeah, good community around the whole title of that.
Yeah.
So you guys are totally okay with your music being considered part of it?
Yeah, well, it's
think
progressive.
there is,
It's
yeah.
progressive metal.
Yeah,
I mean, whether
definitely.
you want to call it gent or you want to call it whatever you want to call it, you know, it's just that this is the name is kind of cottoned on. You know,
Yeah.
it's an
It's
easy thing to
definite-
call
yeah.
it, but
It's definitely
Any
influence.
musical style that gains any kind of popularity, it's always given some kind of arbitrary label just for the sake of convenience more than anything. You can like call quite a lot of varied bands gent, and they wouldn't, you know,
They didn't
we
start
don't
out as
sound the
gent
same
bands,
as like Monuments,
Yeah.
or who don't sound quite like Chim Spanner, any, you know, like.
But it's still kind of
It's still relevant.
together. Yeah, it's all relevant to the scene.
Definitely.
At the end of the day, it's the music that's important,
Yeah.
not what you call it.
You're playing Fuelfest tonight.
we are.
I think in less than an hour. And so you're sharing the stage with Heart of Color, Lights, a couple of other bands. So are you guys excited?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
What do you think of the other bands in the lineup?
Well, we've known Heart of a Coward for a while actually, since their band before Heart of a Coward. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always good to kind of hang out with those guys and see them. They always smash it live. So we have never met Heights before, but they're obviously quite a big British like hardcore band. But yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Tomorrow you're heading back to the UK.
We are.
To play the UK Technical Fest, London Round 2 all day.
Yeah, catchy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really.
Do you have any other tours or shows coming up that you can talk about?
Yeah, we'll be announcing a May and July tour once the album comes out. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. That will just be the May tour will be near Genteful. Again, that name pops up.
Yeah, it's in Karlsruhe.
Yeah, Karlsruhe, Germany. Yeah, so that'll be kind of around that. But yeah, May and July is going to be when we kind of tour.
Alright, that's all we wanted to ask. So
Cool.
is there anything you guys would like to
Buy the album.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Check us
Thank
out.
you very much.
Thank you guys for
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Cheers.